Hello, everybody. Welcome to this YouTube Live. I have a very exciting astrology update to share with you, and this is about March 2023. This is going to be just a paradigm shifting, new world building kind of energy that we're bringing in March 2023. And I can't wait to tell you all about it. So I'm Jocelyn Starfeather, and I'm the founder of Sacred Planet. Welcome to the Sacred Planet YouTube channel. Once you watch this video, definitely check out our other recent videos. I think you will find some really interesting things that you might love to explore. And so for today, we are looking at the astrology of March 2023 with massive shifts in the world order and spiritual businesses rise. So let's dive right in. I'm going to share my screen with you here with a chart for the date and time when, first of all, we will have Pluto moving into Aquarius. So here we are. Now, this is the first transit out of 3 transits I'm going to particularly call your attention to for March 2023. And this is a really big one because Pluto is going to spend about 20 years in Aquarius. Pluto will be moving out of Capricorn in March 2023 and will be spending some time going back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn for 2023 and all the way until the end of 2024. Okay, and then going forward, 2025 and on will be completely in Aquarius. All right, and Pluto will be transiting Aquarius all the way until 2043. So this is a major 20-year transit. Previous to this, Pluto spent about 16 years in Capricorn. And so whenever Pluto changes signs, because Pluto moves so slowly, it's a very, very far outer planet, as you know, this is a shift of ages, okay? This is really bringing in a whole new collective energy. And Pluto is the planet that teaches us about transformation, that teaches us about our true and deep power that lies beneath the shadows. So Pluto calls for us to excavate and to explore deep within ourselves and to make major initiatory changes in our life around the themes of the sign that he's in, and for you in your own chart, the house that he's in order to bring hidden truths into the light, in order to find the treasures hidden beneath your shadow so you can bring those gifts out and actually become more fully who you truly are and step into your deep, deep power that you hold within. Now, what I'm going to share with you here today are some aspects of what we'll feel in the collective from this Pluto in Aquarius transit. We want to keep in mind that this is a very long process that will last for many, many years. Okay, 20 years that Pluto will be in Aquarius, and even after that, we'll still feel some aftershocks from it. Right. So this is a long transit. This is a powerful and very important transit, but it's going to take some time for Pluto's effects to really fully move through us, to really fully come into our lives, and then take the actions, and the outcomes that he's wanting to create, and then for us to integrate it. Okay, so this is a long process with Pluto. Pluto will be coming to the exact 0-degree Aquarius point that Jupiter and Saturn had their grand conjunction at in December 2020. Okay, so if you think back to what was happening for you personally in December 2020 and what was happening for us in the collective at that time, there was a lot going on. It was very initiatory, okay? It was very revelatory, as Saturn had just moved into Aquarius and Jupiter was just moving into Aquarius at the same time. They were joining together at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So around whatever themes you were experiencing at that time, there are going to be new layers of truth opening up around those same themes. In 2023 and even throughout 2024, because Pluto will be exact at 0 degrees Aquarius on various dates all throughout the 2 years, essentially from March 23rd of 2023 for about a 3-month period, then January and February 2024, then July to September 2024, and then November and December 2024. So Pluto is going back and forth, retrograding and going forward over the 0-degree Aquarius point again and again. So what this major Pluto in Aquarius transit is going to be calling our attention to, okay, and this new energy that's going to be really strongly breaking through to us beginning in March 2023 is about what is new and what is possible, okay? And with this happening in Aquarius, this is going to bring in an energy that can be very Uranian. It can be very unpredictable. Aquarius is the energy of our future. This is the energy of the new communities that we're going to build to form our future world. And that's why this can be completely uprooting the current world order and bringing in a new world order, a new kind of leadership we haven't seen before. I'm going to speak more about that in a moment. Okay, but Aquarius is also the sign that really honors the unique genius in each person. So as we think about what are the new kinds of communities we want to form going forward, there's this very egalitarian energy, okay? This is stepping away from the top-down type of leadership, power over type of leadership, and bringing in a new egalitarian energy, a much more grassroots kind of energy, with Aquarius coming to the forefront of our consciousness during this next 20 years. But Aquarius is aligned with the themes of the planet Uranus. All right, so this also brings in an unpredictable energy, a destabilizing energy. But we have to remember that if things are breaking down, if things seem unstable, this is happening in order to create the changes that are needed. We know we need a lot of change in our world. We know there are many aspects of how our world is being run by humanity that is completely out of alignment with truth, out of alignment with the earth, out of alignment with our deep values and integrity, right? So these changes are what Pluto is going to bring so that we can build the future in a new way, right? Aquarius, so that we can build the new future that we know is possible, that we've been longing for. So in the long run, again, Pluto works over a long period of time. So in the long run, this destabilizing that we'll experience is meant to increase coherence and frequency overall in the collective, in the big picture. So Pluto wants to explore the deepest layers. Pluto wants to bring out the truth. And with Pluto, anything that's hidden must come out. All right. So if there are situations where governments or politicians or corporations or medical establishments, whatever it might be, have been dishonest, have been hiding the facts, hiding the truth, these kind of truths are going to start to come out. There's going to be some major disclosure. There's going to be some major truths coming into the light, particularly over the next 20 years and starting in March 2023. We need to remember that Pluto represents the continual cycles of destruction and creation. And destruction always leads to new creation. We must destroy and compost the old in order to birth what is coming next. So with all of this, it's always in service to our highest evolution. But there may be wake-up calls. There may be things we don't want to look at. There may be things that we've turned away from before, and now we're going to be asked to really look at them, to really come, eye to eye with that which we didn't want to see, so that we can heal it, so that we can work with it, so that we can evolve it. And so we need to be resilient, and we need to go into the spaces with the shadows. We need to go into the spaces with what we didn't want to look at, so that we can rise into this higher evolution that Pluto is calling us up to. So as all of this moves through, this can create social and political revolutionary energy. All right. This can create massive shifts in power and leadership. And so as we move with these energies, there are going to be new forms of leadership emerging, ousting out the false leaders who are still trying to do things in the old, outdated ways, bringing in new leaders, bringing in new leaders who will see things in a new way, who will want to build the future in a different way than what we've even had access to before. Pluto in Aquarius also is going to represent some big changes and new developments in technology. So we're already seeing, just as Pluto is about to tap into Aquarius for the first time here, an explosion in AI technology, space exploration, new medical developments, new experimentation with what is being put into our bodies. And so this is going to continue, and we're going to need to really decide, each and every one of us, what is in alignment with our values, what is in alignment with our own integrity, and what do we consent to versus what do we not consent to, and what do we not want to further or give any strength or energy to. And we may need to take a strong stand on that in some cases. There will probably be some big revelations coming out about what's really been happening with scientific and medical experimentation. Cryptocurrency is another part of this new technology, new forms of money. Pluto also represents money, okay? So there may be changes in the cryptocurrency market, maybe even new forms of currency other than the cryptocurrency we've had so far. There could be definitely, through the tracking of money, be attempts at greater tracing and control of the population. And then along the technology lines, there could be new forms of the internet or completely new technology we haven't even imagined yet coming out and becoming available to us. So all of this represents significant changes for the evolution of humanity. And we've had many years with Pluto in Capricorn, Capricorn representing structure, representing governments, corporations. We've had many years as Pluto moved through Capricorn of seeing the structures being torn down, okay? Those political structures, educational structures, medical, medical industry structures, right? We've been seeing the holes poked in those. We've been seeing their weaknesses. We've been seeing how they're starting to crumble. So now that we are so far advanced in tearing down the structures, all right, and our lives have been lightened and freed from old energies and burdens because in our own lives, the structures have been torn down as well. How are we going to come together in community, honoring the differences within each and every one of us, okay? Creating this new egalitarian future with new leadership, right? So I invite you, as we're thinking about this upcoming Pluto transit, to really journal on these questions or meditate on these questions, okay? So one question is, what are you done with? What have you had enough of? You're ready to be done with it. And also, what are you ready to birth anew in service to the collective future? Now, that includes your own future as a part of the collective, but also keeping in mind what the collective needs, because this is one of the Aquarian values that's going to be very important moving forward. How does what I am doing play a part in the larger collective, and how can I contribute the highest energy into that? All right. And then the third question is, what truths do you need to bring into the light in order to help birth that new future that you've been dreaming of? So this is a massive shift in energies and a very, very powerful time. This whole month of March 2023, and Pluto moving into Aquarius is only one piece of the puzzle. All right. So let's move to the next transit that I want to share with you, and that is Saturn moving into Pisces. So this will be on March 7th, 2023. So I'm just going to update the chart here at about 8:35 a.m. New York time. Okay, so here we have Saturn at 0 degrees, 0 minutes of Pisces. And I'm putting the charts up because if you're interested, you can look at what the entire chart configuration is at that time. I'm not diving into the individual squares and trines and everything like that in this video. I am more looking at an overview of what this transit is going to bring for us as these planets move through the full sign, as Pluto moves through the full sign of Aquarius, as Saturn moves through the full sign of Pisces. You can see here that Pluto at this time is still at 29 degrees of Capricorn, okay, because this is earlier in the month before that Pluto shift occurs. Okay, so as Saturn is going to move into Pisces on March 7th, we are talking about this sign of Pisces that has already been relatively recently activated by Uranus, by Neptune, which is still there in Pisces, as you can see at 24 degrees of Pisces, by Jupiter, which only recently moved out of Pisces and is now transiting through Aries. Okay. And now this sign of Pisces is going to be activated by Saturn as well. Pisces represents our dreams, our imagination, our visions, our spirituality. It represents our connection to and insights from plant medicines and near-death experiences, right? These transcendent experiences that allow us to see beyond the veil, that allow us to see the reality that is not visible to us on a day-to-day basis with our human eyes. And Pisces also represents our understanding of oneness, that we are all one, that we are all so deeply interconnected. So Pisces is very much about how we see reality. And because all of these other major planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Jupiter, have been spending time in Pisces over the past several years, there is already a massive spiritual awakening underway. These planets have come in and hit this sign, this zodiac sign that has so much to do with our spirituality, our connection to our oneness and interconnectedness. And it's causing our belief systems to shift. So we're at this point now where there's already this massive spiritual awakening happening. We are already at a point of understanding that there are major changes that need to be made in how we view reality and our role in the collective future, right? That we're all interconnected. So how are we impacting the whole? So then when Saturn comes into Pisces with this context of mass spiritual awakening already set into motion, Saturn is going to ask us to get serious about this awakening process, to get serious about our dreams, our imaginations, our visions, our spirituality. He's going to ask us to put structure around this awakening process to build it more fully into 3D reality. So Saturn, planet of Saturn, is about structure, hard work, building something that will last, and Saturn includes frequent delays. He causes delays. He causes frustrations, slowdowns, but this is to force us to pause, to evaluate and restructure, to ensure that we have the strongest foundation before we continue building. So Saturn is going to play a really key role here. Saturn is asking us to come to a new level of maturity around our spiritual awakening. And Saturn is saying, it's time to take your dreams, your imaginations, your visions, your deepest desires. It's time to take the things you're seeing in your meditations and your medicine journeys and build them into physical 3D reality. Make them real, create new outcomes, new results, and time to explore new methods, new solutions. So this is really powerful. And what I see happening here more than anything is that the spiritual awakening that's been happening, this rising of consciousness that is happening on the earth, is going to become so much more mainstream over the 3 or so years that Saturn will be in Pisces. And that's going to be until February 2026. Okay, so March 2023 to February 2026. During this time, we are going to see an absolute explosion of interest in energy healing, in frequency work, in sacred plant medicine work, in ritual and ceremony, in dream work, in meditation, even more so than it already is. Okay, and so also rites of passage work and all different forms of ceremonial and ritual work. So this is an incredible opportunity for those who've already been on the awakening journey, for those of you out there listening who are already light workers, who are already healers, who are already teachers of these beautiful, many healing modalities, and spiritual expansion and growth modalities that are available. I'm actually going to share another screen with you here because it's relevant and it illustrates this really beautifully. But those of you who have already been doing the work, have already been going through the initiations, already been experiencing your spiritual awakening, you're going to be called upon to become leaders now. For those new people who are stepping into and just starting to open their eyes and their hearts to see what more is here for us. So, as it says here, projects, ventures, communities, businesses that are based on all of these themes: spirituality, healing, energetics, frequency, ancient wisdom, ritual and ceremony, plant medicines, astrology and tarot, alchemy, dream work, dance, movement, nature connection. All of these are going to be so incredibly favored by the cosmic energies, particularly with Saturn moving into Pisces. Pluto and Aquarius also helps with this as well, okay? Because Pluto is bringing us into an increased level of interest and desire to explore the mystery, the magic, the hidden realms, okay? So if you are wanting to start a business around these themes, or you're already doing that kind of work, you are going to be so massively supported during the next 3 years. So really take heart. It's like spiritual businesses rise. Okay. Those are the words to sum it up, right? Now is your time. So claim your power and really move into connection with what you truly want to do, because you're going to have the support to do it, especially starting in these next 3 years. If you are interested in starting a spiritual business, come to my website. I'll put some links below in the description field. There are so many beautiful opportunities that I would love to share with you. But this Saturn in Pisces is really going to help us solidify the awakening process, come to maturity around our own spirituality. And we're going to see that echoed in the collective in these really beautiful, beautiful ways. Now, Saturn can be a stern taskmaster. Okay. So if Saturn comes into Pisces, and you want to look at what house in your own chart is Pisces, because that's the theme that Saturn will especially be working with you on. If Saturn comes in and things seem to start really slowing down and grinding to a halt and getting frustrating, or there are breakdowns, don't worry, okay? Don't freak out. Just know that Saturn is ultimately here to help you build the strongest possible foundation in this area of your life. Again, whatever house Pisces is for you in your chart. Saturn is coming in to help you evolve. He's helping you to create structures, to create new organization, to create new concepts that can really help you to be strong and steady in this area of your life, so that you can be at your best and expand into this going forward. All right, so trust the process. And if Saturn is giving you stern lessons, okay, you want to work with Saturn. Don't run from it. Right? We want to really turn towards Saturn and say, have conversations with Saturn. Ask him, Saturn, what do you want me to learn from this? What is the lesson I'm supposed to be getting here? Please help me to understand. Help me to integrate this so that I can learn quickly and receive the blessings of this transit even sooner. Really important to do that rather than turning away because it got difficult. All right. Now, the third really important transit I'm going to share with you today is involving Venus. All right. So this is going to be Venus conjunct the North Node in Taurus. And this is happening on March 20th. So let me update the chart here at 10:28 in New York time. So you will see that we have Venus at 4 degrees and 24 minutes of Taurus. And we also have the North Node at 4 degrees and 24 minutes of Taurus on this powerful March 20th date, which is also the equinox. This is going to be a really powerful day and a very beautiful, beautiful energy. So the North Node represents the collective future of humanity. Okay, this is the direction that our souls and our destinies and our highest evolution is pulling us toward. That is what the North Node represents. And so this is monumental. Okay, this is just like Aquarius, this is very future oriented. Now, Venus represents the great goddess the true sacred feminine. And she also represents embodiment, love, beauty. She represents where we find ease and flow and grace in our lives. And she represents financial resources and how we value ourselves. Very important for entrepreneurs, right? We need to really value what we're offering so that we can receive the abundance for it in return. And Venus is very at home in Taurus. Taurus is one of the two signs that she rules. The other one is Libra. And Taurus represents our 3D existence here on the planet. Okay, so Taurus represents our physical bodies, the physical earth. Also represents the far distant ancient feminine and matriarchal wisdom. And Taurus represents stability, steadiness, groundedness, and a feeling of home, a feeling of safety, because we know we're at home in our bodies, we're at home on the earth. So Venus also carries many of these same themes as Taurus. Taurus and Venus are quite interconnected. So when Venus conjuncts the North Node in Taurus, this is going to be at 4 degrees of Taurus, as you can see in the chart. This is going to bring ease and peace and soothing to the places in our lives that got obliterated in 2022, okay, with the Uranus-Mars North Node conjunction, which was extremely destabilizing, extremely destructive in some of our lives, that happened in late July, early August 2022, and was really like the epicenter of 2022. So all the themes that came up for you very intensely in 2022 probably centered around this Uranus-Mars North Node conjunction that was very fiery, very destructive, very like world ending so that we can start a new world. But when it's happening, it feels really difficult. So Venus is now coming to the North Node. So where Uranus and Mars were conjunct the North Node in 2022, now this is a very different energy with Venus conjunct the North Node. So this is going to bring peace and calm, much more ease around the subjects that came up so intensely in 2022, and where we may still be feeling desperation and despair around those, around what happened last year. She's going to bring peace around that. She's going to bring calm and ease and soothing. So this is a time to really center in, focus in within yourself. Okay, come back to your embodiment practices, or if you never have had an embodiment practice like yoga or dancing or Tai Chi, it's an amazing time, particularly on this March 20th date, to set a new intention. All right, and to really anchor in to embodiment, to honoring your body as the physical temple, and to laying on the earth, hugging a tree, really like coming into connection with the natural world around you as a way of healing from all that happened in 2022. So for the bigger picture here, this transit for all of us brings a massive invitation for us to reclaim our organic sovereignty. And I want you to really let these two words sink in to your heart and all levels of your awareness, our organic sovereignty. Okay, so this is happening at the same time as we're going to be faced with AI and wild new technology advancements from Pluto and Aquarius. Okay, and Uranus is going to move into Gemini in 2025. It's going to be even more wild technology advancements. Venus conjunct the North Node in Taurus is going to ask us to reclaim our right to leave the phone and computer at home and go for a walk way out in the forest, far away from cell phone towers. Okay, reclaim our embodiment, reclaim our true self-expression using the body, right? The self-expression of our deepest desires, our sexuality, our sensuality. These are very important themes for Venus, right? So think about, where in your life have you gotten way too trapped in your head, too intellectual, too caught up with thinking and technology and being busy? Venus is beckoning you back to the warmth and comfort of your own body, to the unconditional love of the earth, to walking barefoot in the grass on a sunny day, or savoring a long kiss with your beloved, right? And so as the North Node is involved here, this brings us to a bigger question for all of humanity, which is, what will we choose? What will we, as the collective of humanity, choose? And I'm just making sure, okay, making sure our technology is all good here. It is. And so what will we choose, right? So with Pluto and Aquarius, Uranus soon moving into Gemini, right? Are we going to choose to put computer chips in our brains and worship AI images of our friends? You know, these AI images that are going around now. It's just wild, right? And are we going to try to find a way to live on Mars because it's just gotten too hard here on Earth? Is that what we're going to choose? Because Pluto and Aquarius, Uranus and Gemini might invite us into that. Or will we follow Venus in Taurus with the North Node? Will we reclaim our deep, ancient, reciprocal connection with the Earth, spend more time with her, dancing, making love, sitting around a fire, planting seeds in the deep, rich, dark soil, and honoring this physical temple of the human magical body that we each get to live in, because this body is ultimately the highest technology of all, right? Venus is coming in to remind us of this. And what's really interesting is this is a fairly short transit, okay, Venus to the North Node on March 20th. But Jupiter is going to come along behind Venus. Jupiter is going to conjunct the North Node at 3 degrees of Taurus in late May and early June. And then Jupiter is going to spend a full year in Taurus. So this Venus North Node transit is just the beginning of a larger invitation back to our organic sovereignty for those who dare to leave behind the system that requires us to be on our phones all day, right? And find our path back to our true, real, natural selves and our true, real, natural Earth. Now, I don't mean to say that all technology is bad. Clearly, we're here on a YouTube live. You know, let's embrace the technology where it's positive, but let's also not give up our own agency, not give up control over our own bodies, right? And let's just find the right balance, and let's create space in our lives to take time away from the technology when that is aligned, all right? It's also really beautiful that this Venus North Node conjunction is happening at the equinox. So this is a day when day and night are equal. This is a very important Earth-based holiday. And in the Northern Hemisphere, this is when the first signs of spring are starting to break through. We might be finally having a warmer day here and there. And in the Southern Hemisphere, this is the time when the intensity of heat of the summer is starting to ease and we're moving into the beauty of autumn. So this is a wonderful time to spend the day with the Earth and with nature. And that will make Venus and the North Node conjunct very happy. So I would love to hear in the comments on YouTube, how does this move you? What do you think? How do you see this showing up in your own life? You will want to look at what house is Aquarius in your chart for that Pluto transit, what house is Pisces in your chart for the Saturn transit, and what house is Taurus in your chart for the Venus, and then coming down the line a couple of months later, Jupiter and the North Node transits. And I would just love to hear your reflections, your thoughts. How do you feel about the AI technology versus our organic sovereignty? I know there might be some heated discussions about that, and I welcome it. You know, we need to bring all of our awareness, all of our consciousness, all of our values forward together in these Aquarian times and find our new way forward. So this month of March is just momentous. It's huge. It's such a big shift of energies on so many levels. So it's good to know about it in advance. You know, you want to really be prepared for that shift so it doesn't take you off guard, so that you can work with it in the best ways and embrace these energies, because all transits have a positive side and a more difficult side, right? So we want to be able to embrace the positive aspects of it and know how to be resilient and courageous if the negative aspects come up, because always, always they are just helping us to move toward our highest evolutionary path. So I wish you all a beautiful day today, and I wish you a beautiful March 2023 when that month arrives. And I am sending you all much love.